So on the 1st of April 2020, Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered is released to the world, but it's released without a multiplayer experience. Now quite honestly, Activision would be stupid not to release multiplayer at some point. It would quite literally print money for them, and they're leaving millions on the table by not releasing the multiplayer alongside the campaign. Now I want to discuss everything that's happened since the release of the campaign up to this point that would indicate to us that there is a multiplayer coming at some point in the pipeline. It may not be any time in the near future, but we are going to see a multiplayer at some point. We know for a fact it's been in development for a long time now. So firstly, the game comes out 30 days early on PlayStation, and the first thing we notice is that the download size is looking pretty chungus. It's about 46.5 gigabytes big. Now when Modern Warfare 1 Remastered initially came out, before all the updates, it was only 39 gigabytes big. So Modern Warfare 2 campaign alone is 8 gigabytes larger than Modern Warfare 1 Remastered campaign and multiplayer. Doesn't make much sense. Now what's more is that you only needed to download the first fraction of Modern Warfare 2 campaign to complete the entire game. So we had 30 gigabytes of dead space sitting there for one reason or another. Of course, we had an inkling this was multiplayer, but we didn't know that at the time. 30 days later, game comes out on PC. This is awesome because that means the PC homies can go digging around in the files and they quite literally find multiplayer in the files. Along with that, they find strings of code that would indicate to us that there is multiplayer, things like prestige, camos, weapons, things that you can't find inside of a campaign. So we know for a fact multiplayer has been developed to some extent. It might not nearly be complete, but it is developed to, like I said, some extent. It's there. We know it's there. So this kind of forces Activision's hand, right? Eventually they have to come out and they're like, well, rather than release a separate standalone multiplayer experience, we would rather continuously update our current Call of Duties, bring back things from previous Call of Duties into the current Call of Duty, and do it that way. Now, to understand why they did this, you first have to realize that Modern Warfare 2019, up until this point, is the best-selling Call of Duty of all time. Along with that, they had just released Warzone, and Warzone was performing extremely well, bringing in tons of revenue from microtransactions. And so although Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer may bring in millions of dollars, it actually is going to take an audience away from Modern Warfare 2019 and an audience away from Warzone, and so it's going to cost them money in that sense. And so this may not be the time to release a Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. They didn't say this directly, but essentially what they would like to do is release Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer when the company is struggling, when it's not performing as well. You know, think Modern Warfare 1 Remastered. When that came out, it came out alongside Infinite Warfare. It came out alongside Infinite Warfare to boost sales, to make profits look better than they actually were going to be, right? And so why would you release Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer alongside the best-selling Call of Duty of all time? Doesn't make much sense. It was only a couple days later when the Gaming Revolution came out and he said that the devs weren't actually going to release the game because they thought the community wouldn't like it. Now Charlie Intel reported on this as well, and that led to us as a community to speculate why we wouldn't like the game. First things first, we thought, hey, there would be a lot of balancing problems. You would have to fix one-man army noob tubes, you'd have to fix commando, you'd have to fix a lot of the weapons. There's a lot of problems with the game, right? But that's what made it so fun. And so we also thought that, hey, maybe it could be microtransactions. You probably wouldn't add like game altering weapons, but you would definitely add cosmetics at the very least, and so we probably wouldn't like those either. But it was only a couple weeks ago when the Long Sensation, if you don't know him, he's probably the most reputable leaker inside of the Call of Duty scene. He released a video, and in it he said, yes, Modern Warfare 2 to an extent has been in development, it's pretty much the thing, but the devs thought the community wouldn't like it more so because of skill-based matchmaking. And that makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Back in the day, I used to love coming home from school, put on my headset, talk shit to some other 12-year-olds, you know, put some music on in the background, take the piss in the game for my intervention on high rise, have some fun. I couldn't do that if there was skill-based matchmaking in the game. I would be getting home from work now, I'd be sitting down, have to sweat my ball sacks off, have to use one-man army noob tubes to even be remotely competitive. It would not be a fun experience, and it would destroy a lot of us OG fans' nostalgic memories for the game. We simply wouldn't like it. I'm telling you that now. It would suck if there was skill-based matchmaking. As heavy as Modern Warfare 2019 has skill-based matchmaking, imagine that inside of Modern Warfare 2. That would suck balls. And so I'm telling you, they can tone it down, but there's no universe in which Activision do not implement skill-based matchmaking into a Call of Duty game. That's how they earn money. That's how the casuals' retention rates stay up. That's how casuals put money into the game. It's because of skill-based matchmaking. They think they're good at the game because of skill-based matchmaking. That's simply how it works. And so the latest we have on a Modern Warfare 2 remastered multiplayer is Tom Henderson. Again, he's Long Sensation. He tweeted out it's not happening anytime soon. Now that's extremely sad to hear, but hey, to get you on some highs, right? Modern Warfare 3 campaign does look like it's happening this year. There's a lot of things pointing in that direction, so make sure you're subscribed because I am going to be releasing a video on that in a couple days. But nonetheless, it looks like our best chance of ever seeing a Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer is if a Call of Duty game performs extremely poorly. I don't want to give you guys false hope, but it is reported that Sledgehammer Games are developing this year's Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 2019 sequel developed by Infinity Ward, I don't see that doing poorly. Treyarch always developed good Black Ops games, don't see them doing poorly. But a Sledgehammer Games game, which reportedly is getting a lot of help from other developers because they were struggling along the way. If we are likely to see a Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer at any point in the near future, this year's the year. But otherwise, like Tom Henderson, I don't see it happening anytime soon. Just think this year's Call of Duty gets the most disliked YouTube video trailer we've ever seen in the history of YouTube, right? Maybe then they'll release Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer to boost sales, but otherwise, I don't think it's going to be happening, boys. All we can do is hope and pray. We have all the information. We know that it's there. We know that it's been developed, but hopefully it can get released soon. And what's more bad news on top of that? The Modern Warfare 2 mod that was being made inside of Black Ops 3 is on a massive hiatus. So Modern Warfare 2, man, it's not looking too great right now. But like I said, all we can do is pray to the Lords. Hope you guys have a good one. My name is Zeb. See you later.